What's up? Quick preface here. I've been putting off making this video for a bit because I didn't want to have to deal with the process of editing a YouTube video because I kind of, I think I put too high of a standard in my head for what I put out into the world in terms of production quality, but it's really causing me to procrastinate and not do anything. And I've got a couple details in here that are tips for the DJI Mavic Mini that I've been meaning to put out there, and I figure it's better just get the information out there, and people who can tolerate the rambling and unedited nature of the video might still appreciate it. Everyone else can click away, and that's okay. And then you'll still have some people watch the entire video and complain about it, and I guess that's just the way it goes. So let's get started here. So DJI Mavic Mini, it's my first serious drone. I've had a bunch of the little baby ones for the longest time and have been putting it off, and like a lot of other people, this is the one that price point and performance just pretty much forced me to get it. So I've had it for since about December, and I've tried to fly it through the winter as much as I could, and was really looking forward to the summer. And about a month or so ago now, I've actually crashed my first one into the river and had to buy a new one. So I wish I had my old one, because there's one particular element of the old one that I wanted to show, but this one, the new one, doesn't have it, so that's fine, and I'll get to that in a second. But just to start off, I wanted to share with you my first favorite upgrade / mod, which is this case. So I got the Fly More combo, which comes with the big gray case, which you might be familiar with, and that was really great at first. I'm thinking, cool, everything's protected, but the problem is that case isn't very practical for everyday use. I take my backpack with me everywhere, and I wanted to throw my my drone kit into the backpack, and that case was not going to fit. It basically is its own little backpack. It's just a kind of an awkward size. So basically my premise here is that the controller doesn't need much protection. It's it's a pretty robust thing. There's not much to go wrong in here, so I can just throw this in naked into my backpack, and then I've got a little slip cover to protect it from scratches and stuff if I'm putting it somewhere more dangerous. But the drone itself does need something a little bit more protective, so I found this, and this is a Case Logic MSEC4 camera or camcorder case. And what's cool about it is protection than just your standard camera case, because it's kind of like got a thick walls to it. And then it's cool about it too is the way it presents the drone. You slip it up like that, like a little thing. So there it is. It's like, and it happens to be just like the perfect size. So I know they sell like some cases that are designated specifically for the Mavic Mini, but honestly, well, I actually already had this laying around, so I was just kind of lucky. But honestly, if I was looking for one, I would buy this again too, because I also keep some spare props in there as well with the screwdriver and whatnot. So cool little case. That would be the first thing I wanted to share. Next thing, which is actually my favorite thing, and one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video, is my prop holders. So as you might notice, my props aren't flopping around. That's one of the things that irritated me the most when putting away and pulling out the drones, that the props are just flopping all over the place, and there was no accommodation to keep them still while you're trying to manipulate and carefully open up the arms and everything. So you'll see mine are still. And the way I've achieved this, well, first I'll tell you what I tried first, which was I picked up a set of these silicone prop holders from AliExpress for a couple of bucks. And good idea, but ultimately they're just too finicky to attach. They kind of fall off, they don't hold that well, and they're also just another thing to lose and have to keep track of. So what I've done instead is I picked up the little wire clips. They're little adhesive wire clips. You have to buy them in a pack of about 100 for about 10 bucks, so they're cheap, but you have to buy a lot of them. The good news is they're actually really useful for other stuff as well, cable management all over the place, so they're handy to have around. But they're just cheap little black, they make them in white and black, cable clips, and they already have adhesive attached. The caveat there being that the adhesive that was on the ones I got wasn't that great, so I had to, one of them at least. See, there they are on Amazon, $9 for about 100 of them. Hopefully I can make the effort of actually attaching these links in the video itself after the fact. But you want to make sure you rub the area with rubbing alcohol at the very least prior to attaching them. Otherwise, I would recommend picking up a roll of 3M VHB for very high bond tape and having that on hand for other purposes as well. The stuff is amazing. It's a thinner profile too, so that when you actually are slipping the blades up into the clip, they're less likely to shear under the clip and, you know, cut under the adhesive. But that's all there is to it. Look at that. So flip them out, you're ready to go. When you're done, you literally just flip them over and in, and they're protected. It's that simple. And then I got one on the bottom here as well. And then one of the other benefits of having the one on the bottom is that it actually props the drone up a little bit. I've noticed that sometimes when you set it on certain surfaces, if they're a little unlevel, the camera is so low that it will it'll kind of bump against the concrete, and it'll be like, oh, a gimbal issue. So it gives it a little bit more lift there too, which is nice. So that is it for that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and my process for opening the drone, I've gotten kind of perfected this as well, because I want to get in and out as soon as possible. When there's something you want, like, oh, I really want to fly the drone, you don't want to spend 15 minutes setting up. So for me now, it's just flip the blades out, right, and then they're just dangling there. And then opening or closing the drone, grab on the sides of the camera, up, down, down. Just remember that, up, down, down, like a code. Same thing in reverse, up, down, down. And what I tend to try to remember to do anyways is hold by the motor itself, so that you're actually holding the blades so they're not flopping around while you're moving them. And now you'll notice too, these clips are nowhere in the way anymore now that the blades are out and they're free to flop around. And that's what it looks like from the side there, the one on the bottom. So location wise, I'll just show you where they are so you know where to put them. And that's that. The other cool thing about this case I forgot to mention is the fact that because it's kind of stiff, you don't need to put the gimbal protector over the camera, which was kind of another additional step I wanted to get rid of. So I was happy to be able to do that. So that's it for the prop protector, or the prop holders. Another cool thing I found online on AliExpress, I'll show you the link here, is these skins. So you can get PVC skins for the drone. You'll see I have one on the remote right now, and the one on the drone looked like that, and I loved it because I'm imagining if well, actually, since I did lose it in the river, someone's gonna maybe a diver, maybe a deep sea diver will eventually find it, and it says proudly China. So if somebody saw this flying around and they had any issues with it, they would have to take it up with the DRC, which I thought was kind of funny. But so I have new ones on order, just haven't gotten here, so I can attach them yet. And if you do any of these skins, they have a ton of different styles. They're about $10. Then you got to remember to use the adhesion promoter around the surface to make them stick, and then also you might need to use a heat gun to activate the adhesive a bit. That's something I kind of forgot to do initially. I was like, why isn't it sticking? You want to use a heat gun. So that is that. The other thing I found is that on certain occasions, especially the occasion where I crashed my drone, I learned my lesson, sometimes you need prop guards. If you're going to be flying around obstacles that you might potentially hit, and even if you have the insurance, in my case, I had the insurance, the DJI refresh, it fell into the river. I went to look up the coverage, and it doesn't cover it if you lose the drone. So it would have been nice if I hadn't crashed it into the river, and having prop guards on would have made that happen, because I just flew into a concrete support for a bridge or for an overpass, and boom, she was gone. But if I had the prop guards on, it wouldn't have immediately crashed. It would just kind of like wobble a little bit. So these are the prop guards you get with the Fly More combo. And while effective and cool looking, they're freaking weird. I mean, size-wise, where the hell am I going to put these? You know what I mean? Like, you got to have they don't fit in the case they gave you, so you got to stick these in a separate bag, a plastic bag? I don't know. But the bins I typically use, these ones here, these shoebox bins, it would just take up a whole bin. What's time for that? So thanks DJI, but China, or AliExpress anyways, to the rescue again. They make a different style of prop guard, which I had up here a second ago. Where did it go? Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and close this. So this is the listing. They're about, what is it, $9 for the set, and they come in a couple different colors. Oh wow, $4 shipped. United States. Oh no, $9 at the US. So whatever. And it comes with a little cover for the remote, which I did not use. I don't know. But yeah, here they are. So it's 4 separate pieces. A little bit more effort to attach. Still not that bad. Maybe a little heavier. I think you could probably go around with a hobby knife and remove some weight and do well. But ultimately, you can store these easier, and also they add a little bit of visibility by being red. So I like those. And lastly, this is an important one too. Something I haven't seen online that I desperately wanted was an FPV option for the Mini. You can get the goggles for like $400 or $500 from DJI for their other line of Mavics, but I haven't seen any real options for the Mini. So that's where this comes in. Now this looks like a VR headset, and it sort of is, it's not really. You do stick your phone in it, but this was one of the only headsets I could find, and it's from a Airhogs DR1, which is a little FPV drone kit that Airhogs sells, and you strap your phone into it. But the difference between this and your normal VR headset that you can find on Amazon is that it only has one lens. It's got a big Fresnel, I don't know how the hell, lens in it that amplifies the entire screen, so you're looking at whatever's on your screen. You don't need it, where most VR headsets have like 2 lenses and you only can see one half of the screen per eye, so it requires 3D content. Whereas this one, you stick your phone in there and you can see the whole thing. So the reason I originally got this was to be able to shoot first-person videos with the phone strapped to my face with, high-quality camera, and get like literally like first-person view versus having a camera strapped to your head where the angle is different. You don't quite know what it's aiming at, so you can actually see the screen and everything. I really kind of dug that idea. It's a little disorienting, but for this it was perfect. So what you need is an extension, for my case, for an iPhone. This is just a lightning extension cable that you can find on Amazon or elsewhere. And this headset, now you're finding just the headset. There's gonna be a limited supply on eBay. I was able to for about $10-20. So they'll come up every now and then, but otherwise you might have to buy the whole setup from Airhogs for like $80 or something like that. But I feel like there's others out there that are similar. It's just, this is the only one I was able to find that, again, was not for VR content. The only modifications I had to make to this was drill holes in either side for the phone, for the power cable to come out, and then I just kind of taped on some weather stripping to the face side of it because it's really uncomfortable to your face for any period of time. But it makes for FPV flying, and it's really nice and easy. And then the other benefit of having this extension cable is that if you have an iPad, you can actually run your controllers to the iPad and then have a giant screen while you're flying. And so I'll prop this up on my steering wheel and just have the controller in my hand and have a giant screen, and it's really kind of cool. So I think that pretty much covers it. We got this video at about 12 minutes before my battery died. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Awkward endings are awkward because people think that's extra entertaining on YouTube. I think that people do that on purpose.